All right. So today we're going to look at how to prove two triangles similar to each other. Okay? Looking at this, we have a 32, a 24, and 36, and then we have a 40, 30, 45. We have a 40 here and a 60 here, a 40 here and a 60 here. Are these two triangles similar to each other? Well, to be similar, the angles have to be what, did we say the first day? Congruent. 40 plus 60 is 100. What's left for B? 80. 40 plus 60 is 100. What's left for E? 80. So all the angles are congruent. Are the sides proportional? That's what we got to see. So we take the short over the short, 24 over 30. What is that as a fraction? So if we divide both of these by 6, 24 divided by 6 is 4. 30 divided by 6 is 5. So it's a 4 to 5 ratio. How about 32 over 40, the medium and the medium? 32 over 40, if we divide them both by 8, it's 4 and 5. And then if we take the long and the long, 36 over 45, divide them both by 9, it's 4 over 5. Are they all the same? So the two triangles proportional? So they are similar to each other. The similar figure is like that. So if things are congruent, they look like this. So if they're similar, there's no equal to part. It's just the wavy line. Okay. So would these two be similar to each other if we know just two angles? And the answer is yes. All you need to know is two angles, and it's called the angle-angle similarity theorem. So if you know two angles of one triangle are congruent to two angles of another triangle, that's all you need to say that things are similar. Otherwise, everything else is proportional. All the sides will be proportional if you know two angles are congruent. So if triangle ABC has angles 61 and 61, and this has 52 and 61, 52 and 61, are they similar? Well, to figure it out or not, we have to figure out the remaining angle. Okay, what's 61 plus 61? 122. What's 180 minus 122? 58. Do 58, 61, and 61 match up? Any of them match up with 52? No. So these are not going to be similar. They are not similar. Okay, there's no way they'll be similar because they have to have at least two angles work. Okay, the other two ways for triangles to be similar are if all three sides are proportional. So the side similarity theorem says all three sides have to be proportional, or the side angle side similarity theorem says two sides that surround the congruent angle. So if two angles are congruent in different triangles, if the sides that surround the angle are proportional, then the triangles are similar. Not congruent, but similar. Okay, so let's test this out. If A is 3, B is 4, and C is 6, and D is 9, E is 12, and F is 18, are they similar? So are all the sides proportional? So you take short over short. What's short over short? What's the shortest side in each? Shortest. 3 and 9. 3 over 9 equals 1/3. What's medium and medium? 4 and 12. Is 4 over 12 1/3? And then what's long and long? 6 over 18. Is that 1/3? Yes. So if all three of them are 1/3, they're all proportional. They're in the same proportion. They're in a 1-to-3 ratio. So the scale factor, if you are asked about scale factor, the scale factor is 1-to-3. The scale factor is a 1-to-3 ratio because the sides are in a 1-to-3 proportion. All right, let's look at this one. Short to short is 3-to-6. What ratio is that? Whoop, no, it's not 3-to-6. That's not the shortest side. What's the shortest side? 4.5. Ooh, it's tough to find this ratio, isn't it? 3/4.5. If there's a decimal involved, just multiply them both by 2. So this is really 6/9, which is 2/3. Okay? Because if we multiply them each by 2, that's being the same proportion, 6/9. Okay? All right. Then medium and medium is 4 and 6. 4/6 is definitely 2/3. And then we have 5/7.5. Again, we have a decimal. So if we multiply them both by 2, we get 10/15, which is 2/3. If they're all 2/3, are they similar? Yes, they are similar. Okay, this one. Are these similar? Well, what do we know about this angle and this angle? They're what types of angles? All the way back from the first chapter. This is a vocab word in the first chapter. What are those two angles called? This and this. Starts with a V. Vertical angles. Vertical angles are congruent. Now, if this is 75, this is 75. And if this is 1, this is 1. Okay? So, now I have side angle side here and side angle side here. If we look at this side to this side is a 75/1 ratio. This side over this side is a 75/1 ratio. Are they proportional? Yeah, because they're both 75/1. And if the angles are congruent that are in between the proportional sides, yes, they are similar. Okay? Now it says, what is the length of MN? Okay? Well, 75/1 equals 10/MN. Okay? This over this equals this side over this side. How do we solve for that? How do you solve a proportion? You starts with a C. What do? Cross multiply. So let's cross multiply. 75x equals 10 divided by 75. 10/75. Somebody, it'll be a decimal. What's 10 divided by 75? Should come out to be a fairly nice decimal, I hope. 0.13 repeating is the length of MN. All right, radio antennas. We have a right angle here and a right angle here. And because the sun is shining down at the same angle, and if this angle is congruent to this angle, we have similar triangles. Okay? Because once two angles are congruent to two angles, then these two triangles are similar. So if this person is standing and they're 6 feet tall and they have a 5-foot shadow, and this tower has a 40-foot shadow, we should be able to figure out how tall that is because we can set up a proportion. So if we put an X right there, 6/5 equals X/40. To solve a proportion, we cross multiply. 5 times X equals 6 times 40. Or 5X equals 240. If we divide by 5, X equals 48. So this tower is 48 feet tall. Okay. 3 ways of proving triangle similar. If two angles of one are congruent to two angles of another, they're similar to each other. If all three sides are proportional to all three sides, then they're similar. Or if you have two sides surrounding an angle proportional to two sides surrounding an angle that's congruent, and these angles are congruent, then they're proportional. So those are the three ways that triangles are similar. So that's what we have for today. Let me go like, stop this, stop the recording.